today is an exciting day. Today is the first installment of a new series I'm going to do on YouTube called Tim's Transcriptions. What this is going to be is transcriptions. What are they? It's when you hear something played in audio format. So in this case, in my case, it's going to be drums. You hear drums and then you notate what those drums mean on paper. So basically, all the transcriptions that I'm sure you might have seen, for a long time I've been giving away transcriptions on my website. I've been putting up transcription videos on Instagram and YouTube. Last week you saw Vic Firth posted a transcription I did on their YouTube page. Transcribing is part of what I do. I love figuring out when Tony Royster or Benny Greb or Vinny Colaiuta or Dennis Chambers or when someone plays drums and it's crazy and it's awesome, I love the challenge of hearing it and then writing out note for note, sticking for sticking what they're playing. And sometimes, as we're about to find out, that's easier than others. But this series really is just a way for me to, I've been giving away this sheet music for so long, and with the sheet music I've said this is the video that I'm transcribing, but there haven't been as many times where I've given away the sheet music and then put it with the video so that you don't have to find the video and so that you can follow along easier, right? So now you can still get the sheet music for free. It's in the bio, or not the bio, the description down there. But in a second, when I play this Tony Royster solo, you'll see the notation as the solo happens. And I think that's going to help everyone learn a lot better, help some of this stuff sink in better, instead of having to print out the sheet music and then read along with it while you're watching the video. I've done all that for you. And that's what this series is all about. And I'm talking up front because instead of just playing these solos and saying, wasn't that cool, wasn't that notation cool, I kind of want to frame up what the solo is about, or whatever I'm transcribing for this series. I want to frame it up so that you all know maybe why I transcribed it or what I think is most valuable about the transcription. So let's get into it. This is a Tony Royster Jr. solo from a video that Vic Firth filmed of him as a part of their Artist Spotlight series. It's an older video, but I love it. It's 5 minutes of Tony Royster playing very fast, insane, just crazy stuff. And this is a great example to kick off this series with, because this drum solo is not only really fast, Tony's playing super quick stuff, but it is also not to a click track, and it's not really it's freeform. He's not necessarily, playing to a track or something where I know what beat is what. So this solo is a great example of how there's a lot left to interpretation when you're transcribing something. Sometimes when there's a metronome in the background and the drummer's playing an exercise or something, transcription's super easy because you know that that's where the quarter note is, or that's where the eighth note is, or whatever. But for something like this, there's a lot left to interpretation, because sometimes you're faced with this decision of, okay, is this a bar of 2/4, or is it a bar of 3/8? Right? Because sometimes when someone's playing in the moment, and Tony, don't get me wrong, Tony is a super accurate and clean player. But when he was playing the solo, he was just going for it. And sometimes when that happens, you cut a measure off short, or, if you're playing at 7/8, you accidentally round it off and play another bar of 4 or whatever. Or you're going for, you're playing groove and you go for a really, really fast fill and you speed up a little bit. And so when I'm transcribing, it's very clear that, okay, at the end of this measure when he's playing this fill, something got chopped off. So what do? Do I play this, do I notate it that it's a bar of 4/4 but it got cut off, and kind of fudge around some notation so that it works and it fills out the whole measure because that's what I think that he was going for? Or do I write it exactly as the person played it, and I cut that measure off early, and now it's a bar of 15/16 because he jumped in a 16th note early, right? For me, as someone who not only transcribes but can play drums, and theoretically, if I'm transcribing something, it's so that someone else can learn what is going on. I would prefer to go with, what is the most musical thing, even though it might break exactly what that person played in the moment, right? I want this stuff to be playable for any of you that download the sheet music, and I think that sometimes you have to interpret that even though if you're going to be exactly 100%, 190% accurate with a transcription, that person cut that fill short and it's a bar of 15, 16 and it has to be notated like that. I would lean more toward, well, is it a bar of 15, 16, or did they actually speed up somewhere during this fill and they really meant to play a normal bar of 4/4 just like they were playing the bar before and the bar after? And there's a lot of interpretation, and this solo, it'll pose an interesting challenge for you to listen along because there's a lot of displacement, there's a lot of not everything's landing on the downbeat, there's a lot of syncopation, there's a lot of everything in this solo. You can get the sheet music down below. Go to that link in the description. It's free. You just click that link and you get it. Great. And then I'm going to roll the transcription. So in the comments, though, I want to hear if you have drummers that you would like to, that is my phone beeping, download the transcription in the bio description after you watch this video from Tony. Thank you. This is the first installment of Tim's transcriptions, and I want to know who comes next. I don't know how regularly I'll do this, but if you guys are into it, I'll do it more than if you guys hate this, and then I won't do it anymore. So, thanks for watching. Here's Tony.